Kitco News, special coverage of the Decentral Miami Conference, is brought to you by Cook Finance, a revolution in DeFi asset management.
Does Bitcoin have any use cases outside of being an investment in a store of value? Well, that's the topic of our conversation with our next guest, Chantelle Borrelli. She is the CEO and co-founder of CrownBits. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, David.
Thank you, Chantelle, for being here. CrownBits, we're going to talk about your company and what that means, but I've been getting this question a lot, whether or not Bitcoin has any intrinsic value outside of investments, outside of store of value. Basically, can we use Bitcoin for anything? I know El Salvador has adopted Bitcoin as legal tender. I know there are some vendors in the US that allow payments through Bitcoin, but there are still skeptics out there that say Bitcoin doesn't have any use case. Do you agree with that?
I do not. I think Bitcoin does have a use case. I think it has even more potential in the cryptocurrency industry. When I first started with getting into cryptocurrency and blockchain, I started just investing. So, I mean, I could pay for DeFi products, I could pay for a bunch of different things within cryptocurrency industry with Bitcoin, but at the same time, I think it has potential to be integrated into other vendors, just as you were mentioning. And that's also the solution that my company, CrownBits Rewards, provides.
Okay, so tell us how that works. So rewards program using Bitcoin.
Right.
So basically, if I can summarize, I'm going shopping, I'm going to buy, I don't know, anything, a suit. I can go on your platform, which I believe is the first of its kind, and I can buy something and I can get rewards program where rewards points and I can be paid back in crypto. Is that how it works or no?
So that's one path that we have on our platform. So essentially it's a payments platform, but attached to it is a rewards platform. So we have 10,000 North American brands you can shop at. Essentially you can buy that suit on one of the, let's say Macy's. You want to go shopping for a suit on Macy's.
I wouldn't go shopping for a suit on Macy's, but let's stick with that example.
Okay, let's stick with the example. Hugo Boss. Do they sell that? I don't know.
Yes, they do.
Okay, good to know. So you can buy that suit through Macy's, let's say, and then you're getting a kickback with CrownBits Rewards on a percentage of that sale. So then that reward goes back in your CrownBits Rewards wallet, and then once you reach a threshold, you can then cash that out in a cryptocurrency, in any actually digital asset that's implemented on our platform. And then you could also opt to use those rewards after a bunch of purchases that you do through the platform and use it to get a certain amount off your next purchase, for instance.
Okay, so then I got to ask you, this rewards program exists already. Why not create a platform that offers payback in fiat currencies, in US dollars? What's the benefit of using Bitcoin?
So there's a lot of people in the cryptocurrency industry that currently hold a lot of Bitcoin, a lot of Ethereum, a lot of these decentralized coins, right? So the thing is that the main solution that we want to provide is, hey, all you Bitcoin holders, all you Ethereum holders, this is also how you can spend that and not only hold it. Because there's not enough ways, I think, that are out there right now to actually spend cryptocurrency. So we're doing it sort of in a clever way through shopping, and we also have a whole partner section of our business that we partner, for instance, with private aviation companies. You can get a kickback for purchasing your next airline ticket, for instance. So these are all ways that you can use your rewards wallet or your cryptocurrency and put it into the platform and pay for that airline ticket.
And Bitcoin, why did you choose Bitcoin as your first coin?
Bitcoin because it is, number one, it's the first cryptocurrency. It's more a universal currency that most people would know even outside of crypto. So it's essentially the first coin that we want to launch our platform with. And it's also one of the mostly held currencies that there is in crypto.
Okay. you wouldn't consider something like Solana, Ethereum, or any other protocol down the line?
I think down the line, that is definitely a feature that we want to add. I think that if Ethereum, even like any coin that's based off of Cosmos, for instance, we would be definitely thinking about adding that to the platform as well.
What about this argument? Okay, I've heard from Bitcoin maximalists that we shouldn't ever buy anything with Bitcoin because the value is going to go up. So, in the sense that, let's say I buy a cup of coffee at Starbucks with some Bitcoin, Starbucks is getting a much better deal because they're holding on to that Bitcoin, and my coffee is not going to go up 10 times the next whatever number of years. It's getting consumed. Of course, that's assuming that Bitcoin will continuously grow in value. So how would you respond to that argument that, look, it's not really a good idea to transact with Bitcoin at all?
I think that everyone has a habit that they're used to, whether it's within finance, with investing in something. They all have their own way of being comfortable with it. So that's why with our platform, we give them that option. You can either pay for something with it if you want to, or you can earn cryptocurrency and add more to your wallet and hold it. So for the Bitcoin maximalist, right, they're happy with that option. With people who maybe they don't know a lot about cryptocurrency or blockchain industry, so maybe this is a good way to migrate them over and to kind of show them around the industry, show them what's available, show them how the transactions really communicate and work.
How much stuff do I have to buy on your platform before I get 1 Bitcoin?
Well, you know what? Actually, I have a good response to that.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
I would say that if you're just shopping for your shoes and your suit, it might take you a little bit of time. But if you're transacting for airline tickets or for certain partners that we have, for instance, we're going to be partnering with a lot of exchanges. That is definitely a possibility that you could be
Airline tickets? Okay.
I mean, maybe not airline tickets.
A lot of airline tickets, a lot of traveling. My suits are more expensive than my flight to Miami, by the way.
If you travel as much as I do, it's possible.
Okay, well, sure. Then you just get air miles, right? I mean, that's just...
Well, that's the beauty about it. You can use your credit card, you can get your points with it, but at the same time, you're getting CrownBits Rewards as well.
I want to talk a bit about you now. Let's talk about Chantelle.
Okay.
So, you started as a Waterloo grad.
Waterloo alumni.
The only Waterloo alum that I personally know that hasn't done engineering or science.
I did my honors bachelor of science.
Oh, my mistake.
Yes.
Engineering, not biology.
Engineering was not in the books.
And then you're a young entrepreneur. So how did you transition from science grad to starting your own cryptocurrencies? You have a funny story.
I do, yes. So I started out with studying at University of Waterloo. During my time there, I actually got into blockchain just as a hobby, really. And I had a great group of friends. We were all into crypto. So that was around 2018. So I was not really an early comer into the industry. But I always said to myself that I really wanted to, I found that this industry is so passionate with the companies that they're coming out with, the projects that they're working on. And I really felt like I really wanted to get into blockchain, cryptocurrency, and start my own thing with it. So I started thinking about ideas that I love. So for me, I love fashion. And I thought about bringing sort of a clever platform to Canada because there really wasn't anything like it in Canada. And I really wanted to start more of the adoption in Canada of using cryptocurrency through shopping online. That's how it started.
Okay, and cryptocurrencies, but why blockchain in particular? I mean, you could have moved into any area of fashion, but you chose to integrate blockchain technology with your business.
I think that with the industry right now, it's there's not a lot of adoption happening from other industries. And so what my place in this industry right now is sort of a hybrid. So what I want to do is essentially get partners outside the industry. So for instance, aviation, other merchants, other payment cards like credit cards, and have those existing user bases start using our platform and eventually migrate into cryptocurrency.
Yeah. So for the young entrepreneurs watching Chantelle right now who want to learn how to do this themselves, what advice do you have? Well, tell us your story of how you think you're working already and that you did this part-time. This was your side hustle, right?
Yeah, this was actually my side hustle. So I started with I had a full-time job. I mean, I was working like 16 hours a day on this for at least 2 years. And it was really an idea that I really liked. And then it just started growing and growing and growing as I got more and more momentum. And actually, funny thing is that I actually never even told my family that I was doing this. I would be upstairs in my room. I would be having meetings literally in my closet. Like it was very hush hush. And then once it sort of blew up, I then told them, and I was like, hey, by the way, I have this company that is doing really well now.
Right.
And I mean, they're very supportive. I love my family, so.
Okay. And how big is your closet now? Are you still doing meetings in the closet?
No.
Okay.
No.
You've grown since then. Yeah.
No, we've grown a lot. Yes. Yeah.
Good. All right, that's good to hear. Entrepreneurs that I have friends that are entrepreneurs, their biggest challenge in the beginning is raising capital. How did you overcome that challenge?
Connecting with the right people.
Okay. How do you do that? Be specific now.
So I think that with raising for an idea, number one, you have to have a good pitch deck.
Okay. Which did you know how to do initially?
I did not know how to do a pitch deck at all, actually. So I came from the northern Silicon Valley, being Waterloo. So I actually learned a lot from a lot of CEOs that were around there.
Right.
And they actually helped me to critique my deck and really figure out trying to really have a good picture of what the business model was. Because it's one thing, I think, to have a business model, to have a brilliant idea, but the thing is, you also need to explain it properly to investors, and that's sometimes I find what's very difficult. So if you have a good support system, if you have some people that you can count on.
Let's role play this, because this is a challenge for a lot of people. So let's say I'm a potential investor. I say, Chantelle, you've got a new business idea, you've got a startup. I'm not convinced, right? So I'm giving you a bunch of roadblocks. You've got no revenue so far. This is a completely new industry. Cryptocurrencies are new. I don't know the next thing about fashion. I mean, convince me that this is a good idea here.
Okay, well, I mean, I think that number one, it depends on the investor that you're talking with, right? So if they understand the industry, they understand how many people are in cryptocurrency, you got to know who you're talking to.
So you were targeting the right investors to begin with. You weren't targeting random people on Wall Street.
No, I was not talking with random people. No, it was mostly people who knew the industry. They knew what the potential was, and that creating the right idea and the right adoption really had potential to scale.
Yeah.
And the main key is explaining how it's going to scale, explaining that you have all these support systems, you have your partnerships that are ready to go with the product, you have a solid developer team, you have all these support systems, all these pillars, for instance, even advisors, right? That's a huge key as well, which a lot of businesses lack. So, I mean, I think it's really just you got to stick to really your idea and making sure that you don't sort of move off the path.
Now, tying this back to Bitcoin, and we'll end it there. Do you think Bitcoin as a currency has been fully adopted yet by either institutions or retail investors?
I don't think so. I think what they need is an incentivized model, and that's exactly what I do. So I've created an incentive model for them to adopt it more into their stores, into their platforms. And the thing is that yes, we want to start out online because stores, for instance, like Amazon, right? but the key would be to getting it out there. So for instance, shoppers in person, right, using that QR code, that's eventually what you're gonna see, I think, down the line.
So you think if all the major brands across America or the world start to issue similar incentive programs such that they have loyalty programs or rewards programs like yourself using blockchain, more people would have to adopt Bitcoin or other blockchain?
I think they wouldn't have to, but I think the curiosity of it being there will help the adoption of it.
Okay, so you think DeFi and blockchain is still in its early stages of adoption?
I think it's super early stages, and I think that it is a growing potential, really, that people are slowly going to get into, and I think it's just a matter of getting it out there and adopting it in a clever way where people actually pay attention to it.
Did you buy your suit on your own platform?
No, I do not have this store.
Okay. We'll work on that. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much, David.
Yeah,
Pleasure.
thank you. Thank you for watching Kitco News. I'm David Lin.
Kitco News, special coverage of the Decentral Miami Conference, is brought to you by Cook Finance, a revolution in DeFi asset management.